Minister of Electricity, Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, has lauded the progress made in bringing 4 of Kusile units back online. The set date for this December. The minister was in Mpumalanga today visiting the Kusile Power station. He received a status update on efforts underway to return the lost Kusile units online in a bid to help resolve the country's energy crisis. Now, this comes as he still awaits the president to give him ministerial authority to implement some of the plans around the ailing power stations. SABC News economics reporter Kusile was in Mpumalanga at Kusile and joins us live in studio for that update. Kusile, you are back in one piece. You've taken a breather. Welcome and thanks for joining us here.
A very good afternoon to you, Lizzle, and of course to our viewers at home.
Right, so you obviously were with the minister at Kusile. You were there with the status report update. Walk us through what emerged.
Well, Minister Kgosientsho Ramokgopa really impressed about the work that has been done at Kusile. You know that he was there just after he was announced as the Minister of Electricity. So today he was going back there to try to check what is happening since the commitments that came out of the powers that be, this being the executive of Kusile Power Plant. So today he took a walkabout at the power plant. They have 3 makeshift stations. So these are temporary structures that are being basically commissioned as we speak right now. So those structures are meant to help us just get these units back online. We know that there was that incident at Kusile where the chimney burned down, that disaster, seeing units going off. Some units were not online and they're looking at bringing some of these units back online. So the minister just lauding the work of the men and women on the ground there at Kusile Power Station. You can imagine that as we speak right now, we're finding ourselves in an unprecedented situation where the rolling blackouts are really relentless when you look at them. And he was really frank about the interventions that are underway. And he more or less just called on South Africans to really bear with some of these power stations. Of course, most of them have seen years of destruction from corruption to the likes. Kusile is one that featured at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, just heavily so around the wrongdoings that have been happening there at the coal-fired power station, just 6 years old, Lizzle. But when you go there, you can just tell that it looks like an old power station that has been in existence for quite some time. But the minister is saying that at least we're starting to get the best out of that power station. And he's saying that at least by December, we should see some of these units get back online. This is a project whereby it has cost the Eskom entity and the department around 250 million rand that has been set aside to help just set up these temporary structures as they work on finding a solution for that chimney that was destroyed in that explosion. I want us to listen to what he said earlier on as he was just briefing us on the status update that he got from the powers that be there at Eskom.
It is particularly important because, as you all know, that there's 3 units that went off, Unit 1, 2, 3, and there's also Unit 5 that is offline. And those units collectively, if they were operating today, if you can imagine, they each giving us about 800 megawatts. So you have about 3,200 megawatts. So essentially you're talking about 3 stages of load shedding. So Kusile is on the critical path in relation to the resolution of the load shedding problem in the country. And the last time I was here, management indicated that they will be bringing those 3 units back. The last one will be brought back by the 24th of December, and the first one of the 3 will be back by, I think, the 28th of November 2023, and the second one by the 11th of December, again, 2023. So we're here just to check progress. We did have an intense discussion with management. And I must say I want to compliment management for the work that they have done. The group executive responsible for generation, of course, Mr. Numa, is overseeing the work. But just to say thank you to Bonga here and Zandi who have been at the coal phase working with the various contractors. We are on track to deliver on that promise. As you can imagine, if we were to get these 3 units back, I think we would have made significant advances, if you like, in the resolution of load shedding. So we are on track. The civil works is done. So you can see that they were doing the temporary stacks, and of course we do remain on track. So we thought that it is important that whilst the country is going through extraordinary pain as a result of load shedding, sustained levels of stage 6 in parts, it is important that we get to share with the country the kind of progress that we are making. Of course, it's still into the future, but it's still this year, December, to get these units back. And also the confirmation we got is that we'll start doing the test on Unit 5 by October of this year. We are confident that they will be able to have it fully running by April of next year. So the message we are conveying is that we are on track here to deliver as promised, and we are confident about our ability and the ability of management to deliver.
All right, so Katlego, on the back of what the Minister echoed, you also alluded to it earlier on. You spoke about the costs incurred during this power station, for this power station, as well as the timelines come December. I wonder if the Minister managed to address some of the more systemic issues at the power station, given allegations of corruption, illicit activity, amongst others. I mean, I want to know this because obviously the restoration of Kusile and the 4 units are going to impact power supply nationally. And what does it look like in reality on the ground for South Africa at large?
Well, the Minister just frank about the challenges in the past, the long-standing challenges that existed at Kusile and other power stations as well. Also just talking about the fact that when you look at it, some of these issues are already being attended to by the Special Investigating Unit. We've seen the SIU attach some of these properties belonging to former executives of Eskom. We know Machela Koko, for instance, he's in court as we speak right now, and particularly on this matter of Kusile Power Station and the wrongdoings that existed there. So the Minister just talking about the fact that as those processes continue, they also need to make sure that they sustain the integrity of the grid and they ensure that they intervene at these power stations, because that is where they can get the best out of this unit. So here we're talking about around 2,400 megawatts of electricity that will be ingested into the grid as soon as they get it right.
Time is running out. The President has officially gazetted the powers of the Minister, given all the work and activity.
Well, the Minister just talking about the fact that, the work continues on the ground. The President has not gazetted it yet. We heard that it's been, proclaimed, but has not been gazetted yet. This is something I think that came out of Vincent Magwenya earlier on when he was giving a briefing around issues pertaining to the President's diary. But here we still have the Minister of Electricity that does not have that authority and the mandate to really, enforce and come through with some of the critical solutions decisions that will be needed here. But he's still alluding and saying that he's working with the Minister of Energy, Gwede Mantashe, and the Minister of Public Enterprises here, as it's all hands on deck to ensure that we get out of this unprecedented situation. Businesses, South Africans really are struggling to make ends meet where this load shedding crisis is concerned. It's really the biggest hamper of the economy as we speak right now. So we've seen the Minister confident. He's talking about going back to other coal-fired power stations just to track progress there as well. So we're expecting that maybe, hopefully, in the coming weeks or so, we'll see him visiting again these power stations amid these criticisms that he's received, of course, from the public.
Well, Katlego, short and long-term solutions are what we're expecting, particularly as we head into winter. But thank you for your time.